Welcome to MIA
2K.
Your ticket from Miami to Seoul.
We're Kathy and Laura, and we're so happy you could join us today.
You probably know us from, just kidding, you don't know us yet. We're just two Miami girls with obsessive fandom tendencies who fell into the inescapable void of Korean entertainment. And we're here to share our insights and spill all the tea only grown fans like us can enjoy.
We've done all the research and acclimating so you don't have to. Before we begin, please make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you love visuals like us, you can watch us on our YouTube channel. We drop episodes with our hot and sunny takes every week.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, first of all, we're in person. What a concept. Love that for us. If you're not watching, don't. It's fine.
You really
but we're just really excited to be able to shoot in person.
Or should they? Our props today are delicious.
Yeah, we do have a lot to show you, so maybe you want to watch this episode. But if you don't, we actually highly encourage you to listen on Apple Podcasts because we have amazing news to share. And it is that our little engine that could was chosen by the Apple Podcast editorial team to appear in El Vecindario, which is a collection that they created for the Hispanic Heritage Month this year for 2022. So we got chosen for one of the subcategories called Con Mi Gente.
Yes.
And because we're so Latinas and we're so great. And we really can't believe that this happened. We're so beyond honored that Apple Podcast has great SEO and found us.
Thank God.
Wow. The honor. Because we didn't look for this. We didn't nominate ourselves or anything. So again, this was a huge, amazing milestone for both of us. We found out 2 days before the collection went live that this was even happening. So again, if you're not watching us on YouTube, please do go to Apple Podcasts. Let me get you the actual link so you can know where to go. So it's https://apple.co.elvecindario, ELVECINDARIO, spelling bee for you. And look for us, MIA2K Podcast, under the Con Mi Gente category. So you can give us a listen there, and you can also listen to all the amazing creators that are featured for Hispanic Heritage Month as well. So we're super beyond excited for that, if you can't tell by the fact that I've already talked about it for 6 minutes. Aside from that, we're very excited to be recording together today. We actually just hosted our first in-person K-pop for adults event that is not a cup sleeve. And we had a great time with everyone who showed up. So thank you to everyone who came. We're excited to keep growing the K-pop community in South Florida and the love for K-pop, K-drama, Korean culture in general. And Laura made some amazing props, which she mentioned earlier. So we have some boba tea with our cup sleeve that Laura designed. We have our own very light stick as well with our logo, which is beautiful. Laura also created an image of Cookie from BT21 as Bad Bunny, which is priceless and perfect for Miami. And we have the best prop that is going to segue us into today's episode topic, which is please come to Florida with a finger heart and a heart. So with that said, Laura, please carry us in.
So we want to start today's episode first by thanking all the artists that have made stops in South Florida. We want to say thank you, we love you, and it's just nice to be seen.
Yes. And to not have to travel.
And spend a lot of money.
Spend thousands of dollars to be able to see our faves.
So we want to thank Eric Nam, P1 Harmony, Monsta X, Brave Girls, DPR, and Keshi. Some of these are not K-pop,
right? Yeah,
but
artists from the Asian diaspora.
Yes, and it's a pretty not weird, but
it's a variety pack of sorts.
Yeah, from big groups, to less established groups like P1 Harmony, which debuted like
K-pop, more indie, more different walks of life. Absolutely.
So we want to thank you all. Artists, if you're listening, because it's great to be able to just go from work to a K-pop concert.
Jesus Christ, yes. And these artists have really made it possible for us to enjoy them with just a short car ride away.
Yes. We want to especially thank P1 Harmony, Monsta X, Brave Girls for the venues that they chose.
DPR too had the Hard Rock, so we had air conditioning and seating available for those of us who wanted to.
We did hear today that people that were in the general audience or general admission area that lined up before the concert had some issues with the venue being ridiculous.
Yeah, even barricade ticket holders it was just not good.
Yeah.
But that was on the venue for their mismanagement.
Right.
And for their lack of experience with K-pop fans.
So we want to especially thank those artists because the venues had pretty good ventilation, nice seating.
Good sound.
And I guess you could say good, refreshments. Yeah. The lines were manageable in all of these concerts. Eric Nam chose to do his concert at Revolution Live, which is a good venue for...
It's a typical venue for indie artists that want to come to South Florida. And he actually even started at a smaller venue before that, but the demand was enough that he was able to switch and level up to a bigger venue. From what we read, Revolution Live has space for about 1,300 fans, but that's debatable according to the reviews. Yeah. People are not happy with that capacity, so...
Yeah, it was a little bit hot.
Sound was terrible.
Yes, but that's not an Eric Nam. That's just the venue.
We had a great time, and Eric did an amazing show. The venue is just not it.
And we made good friends.
And we made great friends that actually today gifted us these beautiful portraits that you see behind us. So we're not trying to be BTS hardcore army stans today. It's just we got these amazing gifts, and we have to showcase them to all of you. So if you want to know what we're talking about, please do watch our show. And on that note, there's something else for you to watch, which is Laura made herself an amazing shirt for the DPR concert that didn't actually arrive on time. So this is her opportunity to shine. So if you're watching, if you've heard of the sequin flip shirts, this is what it looks like. She made it with the DPRs.
I wanted to be able to flip-flop, the first part of the concert be all, ooh, DPR Live, I'm here for you. And then in the middle, I would just do this and be like, DPR Ian, I'm here for you. It was great had I been able to wear it, but it's okay.
It's fine.
It got its moment today, so it's fine.
It absolutely did. It's getting its moment right now as we speak.
Okay, so
after our thanking of all the artists who have made the point to come to South Florida, this is more of like a reality check for ourselves that we're gonna start with right now before we go into the rest of the reasoning.
Yeah, so we would like to start by saying we can be very logical people. We understand South Florida doesn't always make sense for K-pop acts to come. Like, we understand that geography of Florida is not the easiest. It's a very long state. So if you have a stop all the way in South Florida, it takes about 8 to 12 hours to cross the whole state to get to South Florida. Yeah. So we get that might be a little bit hard for tour buses and like the equipment. We also understand that the demographics of South Florida are a little bit weird. Yeah. If you look up median age in South Florida, it's about 38, 39 years old, which isn't usually the demographic for K-pop acts.
It's just West Palm Beach and South Beach messing it up for the rest of us.
True.
And Boca.
The other one is the ethnicity. Most people here consider themselves Hispanic or Latino. So that might be something that isn't... Like, I guess if a K-pop act wants to hit that demographic, they can just go to Latin America.
You can consider it a detractor, but we actually have a reason for it to be considered a pro instead.
And we also understand that a lot of the artists pick Atlanta because it is easy to get to from other states. So they can cover they can cover Florida. They can cover
the southeastern region.
Right. And from the other states to Atlanta is not that far. To get to Atlanta, it's not that expensive either. There's different types of hotels that you can stay at, so the pricing can fit all the budgets. So we get that those are all factors that make the K-pop acts not want to come to South Florida. But
with all that said,
we have come to Florida.
Please ignore all the logic and all the reasons and all of the things that people would tell you that you should think about in terms of logistics, and just follow your heart to the land of South Beach and crazy people and bath salts. South Florida.
And cafecito.
And cafecito, you know, some good
stuff.
Too.
So these are the actual reasons why you, K-pop act, should include South Florida in your world tour. Reason number 1. It is the perfect last stop of the U.S. leg of the tour right before going to Latin America.
Yep.
It's beautiful because from South Florida to Latin America, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 if you're going to Mexico.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's perfect. Literally.
Absolutely.
So comfortable. 3-hour flight. Anybody could do that.
And you'll be flying with like a bunch of fans at the same time because they're all going to fly out from Miami. You better believe.
It's true.
We have your perfect vacation stop. So if you want to put a little bit of break between your U.S. leg and your Latin American leg, guess what? We got Fort Lauderdale Beach. We got Dania Beach. We got Hollywood Beach. We got Miami Beach. Hello. 7th and Ocean. Don't go there, but if you wanted to, you could. We have Key West. We have Captiva, Sanibel, if you want to go a little bit west and north or whatever. But it's a perfect, beautiful, scenic place for you to relax and unwind right before you go down to Latin America.
And we learned that it's also a great place if you're an idol with family in the U.S. to vacation with your family.
Because no one will recognize you on the streets and you'll be able to have a great time.
It's true. Vernon just did it. We found out today. Yeah. He posted a picture of an iguana and I was like, that's fucking Miami. There's nowhere else where there will be an iguana. And I'm pretty sure nobody would recognize him.
Yeah, no.
So it's perfect.
He had a perfectly happy, peaceful time with his family. Beautiful. Like a regular New Yorker would down here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The next one is the amazing weather. We maybe don't do it during the summer. But like if you come in the winter months, Florida is delicious. It's hot, but like not uncomfortable. It is a lot of sun, vitamin D. Just maybe not during the summer. But if you come during the summer, it's still okay.
Yeah, we've had plenty of fun this summer in Florida, so it's totally fine if you choose to. I mean, Florida is a perpetual summer, let's be honest.
That's true.
There's just like less hellish temperatures in the winter months, but we don't have winter. So you can really tour here all year long without any concern of winter storms or any of the sort. We do have hurricanes, but like, you know, those are just other excuses to party for Floridians.
And our venues aren't predisposed to flooding.
Smart people in Florida. We're prepared.
Look at that.
100%.
And I mean, not to be superficial or anything, but I'm going to be superficial right now. Florida, South Florida, is filled with beautiful people. Beautiful people. So like, if you want to have a little fun, this is a perfect place.
Yeah.
Beautiful people. There's people from all over the world because Miami is
a melting pot.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of like all the hot bitches from Latin America ended up here. It's really what we're trying to say.
Truly walking through Brickell in downtown is not it's not the best confidence booster at all.
It's a competition out here and everybody went to Latin America to get their surgeries and they came back looking amazing. So
it's true.
You're just going to get the final result. You get the after of everyone's plastic surgery. And, you know, it's not about us being superficial. Like, they do have a category for visual in K-pop. So we're just playing along with the rest of y'all. The next reason why, and I think this is probably one of the most important ones in terms of how artists feel, and it is our lit audiences. Like, the level of litany, litatonomous that we get down here in South Florida is hard to match. We know, for example, Brazil goes hard. We're not going to be Brazil here. We're not going to match the Brazilian energy. They don't rest. They party hard and they're incredible. That's not as far as we go. But the next closest thing that you can get is Miami, because Miami is the mix of all the Latin countries with some Americanness, with everyone's desire to party, with just like, I don't know, like when people come to Miami, they just have like this willingness to party and let go. And our audiences just want to give our artists all the love. Like, they're so excited that they're here. We're ready to scream our faces off. Laura and I lose our voices at every single concert without fault. We drink shamelessly, and that just makes the experience that much better. And every single act that we've seen this year, which we named at the beginning, it's 5 people, five groups that we've seen this year. They've all mentioned just how amazing the energy was in the room, and that's super important for an artist to be able to perform and have stamina for the evening and be able to just really give the best show. It all depends on energy, and I'm promising you, South Florida has some of the best energy that there is to give. If you're going to come to the US, this is the place to go to for that recharge that artists look for during a concert.
It's true. We just went to the DPR concert last week, I think it was.
Yeah.
And DPR Live was performing, and people started like dog barking, like barking.
Forgot about that.
And then they did it for DPR Ian too. And at first they were like, "The fuck is this?"
Was so confused.
What is happening?
Ian had no idea what was coming for him.
But at the end of the concert, they were like,
it grew on them.
Yeah, like asking people to bark. Like,
yeah,
it was just like a cool vibe, honestly.
I think neither of them expected South Florida to be this lit for them.
That's true.
Because, again, most K-pop people don't. Most Korean, most Asian acts that come here are not expecting to have a great crowd who knows them, who really knows their music. But honestly, I was even surprised because of how many people were just singing along to all the lyrics in English or Korean for both Live and Ian. Like, people were really, at some point, Live was asking Cream to to raise his voice, and people were just excited, cheering for hearing him speak Korean. Like, it really, I think, caught them off guard, and they tweeted about it later. I think DPR REM did, talking about the energy down here, and that they were like, why didn't we come here before? We're totally gonna come back to South Florida. So we're just saying, like, literally everyone who comes here has something to say about the energy. It's not just us talking shit because we want to.
We wouldn't.
We would, but we're not doing it right now.
Don't discredit us while we're making
taking
a plea.
Away all our credibility right now.
Please. Also, I know we said that K-pop acts like to make their concerts in Atlanta because people would travel from all the different places.
But the thing is, like, everything in Atlanta closes at 12 or before. So once you go to a concert, you just, like, have to go home. There's really no choice for you. And with Miami, nothing closes. We have a super lit nightlife. And it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday in the middle of, like, Pembroke Pines, which is my area, in Broward, which is a suburban place. You would expect everybody to be in bed by 9:30. No, you're wrong. We will be lit at any restaurant that there's in the area. So it's just, there's always something to do after the concert. So when people travel here, they can fill up an itinerary and have an amazing time and justify the trip beyond the concert.
And a lot of people have Miami as like a bucket list city. And even if they don't stay in Miami, if they stay somewhere in South Florida, Miami is close enough that they could check that off as a bucket list. There's been so many concerts in Atlanta that people have already gone there. Yep. You get what I mean? So,
and just a slight note, our friends went to the Atlanta concert of Stray Kids that ended up getting canceled, and they did a lot of activities on Saturday because the concert was supposed to be on Sunday. And then once the concert was canceled, they were like, what do? We did everything that there was to do in Atlanta one day, which was like the aquarium. And then what else? Like, there's a lot more to do here. No shade to Atlanta. Beautiful people. I've been there. I love it. I love Decatur too, not just Atlanta. The outskirts are great. Yeah. It's just, it's harder to find something to do, especially on a whim or last minute without doing a ton of research. So I think Miami just provides you that opportunity to be spontaneous and just find random shit to do at any time of the day.
That's true.
What it is. So the other thing is, we have any kind of venue that you want, we have it. There's, if you want a smaller club type place like Revolution Life, which you shouldn't, but if you want it, you can have it. We have halls / theaters / auditoriums with AC, which we all need very badly, and with great seating options, and also in all throughout the Tri-County area, because I think a lot of artists want to come to Miami, but maybe Miami's not available. So Broward, Fort Lauderdale, that area is available. So we have West Palm, even Boca. Yeah, there's tons of venues and arenas and auditoriums all around that Tri-County area that you can hit. We also have 2 arenas within 30 minutes of each other, 30, 45.
Yeah.
So we have the old American Airlines Arena, which is now called the FLA Arena, or is that the FTX?
FTX.
They changed the names of the arenas recently all around the country, which, by the way, fuck all of you, because that's so confusing now.
So confusing.
But I understand contracts expire. I know how shit works. I'm just saying, it was stupid. Y'all should name it one thing and keep it at that. I don't care about your sponsorship. It's really ruining my life.
It is.
Because I really want to be like, I want to go to AAA, and it doesn't exist anymore. So the FTX Arena in Miami, and then we have the FLA Arena, which used to be the BBT Center in Fort Lauderdale / Davie / whatever the fuck it is in Broward. So yeah, we have the small venues towards the bigger arenas, and then we have the Hard Rock Stadium, which is where Beyonce and Jay-Z had their tours. Coldplay has toured there. Bad Bunny just did his stadium tour stop there. So if you want a stadium tour stop, the Hard Rock is amazing. Their parking situation is
very
great.
Good.
It's surprising how good the flow of cars in and out of the stadium is. And true. Not that it matters for concerts, but it's a great tailgating venue as well. It is. Dolphins games suck, but going to tailgate for a Dolphins game,
delicious.
Good times at the Hard Rock.
And we also have amphitheaters.
We do.
So if you want to do it outside, there's plenty of options.
Listen, when it comes to Winter Music Conference, very few cities can do it like Miami. We have all the DJs, the clubs, the spaces here, and the people that want to party are here. So it just sells itself, really.
And the last point, which I think is the most important one, for all of you that want to find your big booty hoe, this is the place, I'm telling you. This is where you go. Shonu?
Laura totally slid into Juhani's DMs when they came in December that they were supposed to play Jingle Ball, but it got canceled. And not for the reasons that you might think. We are not selfish women when it comes to our idols that we like finding happiness. Laura is very happily married and very loyal to her husband. So the reason she slid into Juhani's DMs was to be like, make your young Shonu proud and find yourself a big booty hoe now that you're in Miami. It was the best DM I've ever seen. I clicked send because she couldn't bring herself to it. So yeah, we really want idols to live a normal, fun time that they probably aren't able to do as freely as they can in Korea, or when they go to LA or when they go to New York. They're much more likely to be recognized in those cities. So they don't have that anonymity and that ability to just be themselves out and about. Miami, you still have that. And hopefully for not too long, I really have high hopes that South Florida is going to become an amazingly K-popified area. I think we will. Like, it's just, it's growing like bacteria. Like, it is.
Let's say it's
like a fetus. It is cell division happening like a fetus, okay? So we are going to spread the K-pop love in the most hygienic way possible. And until that happens, though, idols, artists, indie, whatever, are going to have a ton of anonymity. Oh, okay. Listen, perfect story. When we went to see Eric Nam, we shared the story in our Eric Nam episode, which if you haven't heard it yet, you should. But we were walking down the streets of Fort Lauderdale, heading into a restaurant to get some food before we went into the concert. And as we're walking down the street, 3 people are coming towards us, and they're wearing lanyards, kind of like VIP or whatever. And turns out one of them was Eric Nam. We realized as he was walking towards us, he was the one in the middle, walking around Fort Lauderdale in flip-flops and shorts with the normal mask and hat. If Eric Nam was walking around Fort Lauderdale right before his concert and no one jumped him, literally, you have all the hope.
Right behind the venue, too. Like, right behind the venue.
He walked in and out because it's like Revolution Live is such a small venue that I don't even think they had like a private parking lot for him.
They don't.
His tour bus was parked right outside. So we saw him both going in and out of the venue from his bus without getting jumped. So Florida is crazy, but
not in that way.
Not in that way. Yeah.
Not in that way.
The bath salts people are not around for the K-pop concerts.
No.
Usually.
No.
So yeah, there's total chance for you to keep your anonymity in South Florida, at least for a little longer. And I think that's a perfect reason to come and find your big booty hoe here.
Always.
So with that, I think we mentioned at the beginning it was going to be a super short episode. So we're actually being good with our promise, making good on our commitment. And we're asking everyone to please, we understand at least Orlando, at the very, very least, you should include in your stops. And then your artist can go to Disney and make content. Hello.
It's beautiful.
Like Itzy went to, I don't know if it was Disneyland or where they went when they went to California, and they made a day of it and they recorded themselves the whole time. You can go. We have Disney, which has 4 parks, like regular amusement parks, and 2 water parks. We have Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. And we have a ton of places in Orlando in general, like other minor parks that you can go to. You have
Springs. The Florida Springs, beautiful content. Perfect for Instagram, TikTok,
you
Twitter.
have Cape Canaveral right down the street with the NASA thing. There's so many things to do. So, like, you know, we understand if Orlando is as south as you're willing to go.
That's fine.
That's fine. But at least we can drive to Orlando.
At least Central Florida.
At least Central Florida. We're here to be semi-rational, not very. But if we can't convince you to come to South Florida, then please, 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 just come to Florida. At least Central Florida. Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
We do. We really do appreciate at least thinking about it. Do something.
We weren't even fans of Brave Girls, but we went because we needed to support the fact that they came here.
Yeah. In this K-pop community, we try to support every act that comes. Yeah. So as long as it's within our means, we're going to go to every concert, whether or not we know the artist well, just to strengthen that K-pop scene in South Florida.
Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out El Vecindario on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Oh, and TikTok. Kathy did a beautiful live tweeting of Jin's V Live. And, well, I guess now it's Weverse Live. Yeah. And it was great. It's always a fun time.
Yeah, we're everywhere. At least we're trying to be. We're working very hard. And we just really want to have a good time with you guys. So if you are interested in more of our perspective as Latin fans of K-pop who live in Miami and are grown and have jobs, and half of us have husbands, and you know, all of that, we think we have that fun, spicy take on things, and we're a good time. So you should stick around, follow us, subscribe wherever possible, rate us, and we'll say all these things in the outro too, but we just wanted to say them again just for the sake of this episode. So thank y'all for watching / listening, and happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Woo! Oh my God, I'm a woo girl.
You are a woo girl. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead, so please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale. Bye.